G'day there, Ray Corcoran here. In this week's video, I'm going to be going over my 2023 goals, how I went over the past year, and then also going over my 2024 goals and how I'm thinking about money and investing over the next 12 months. And don't forget to let me know in the comments, how did you go in 2023 and what's your big goal for 2024? So overall, it's been a bit of a weird year. It's been a few weird years in a row now, and it's been a challenging year for many people financially with cost of living, inflation, housing affordability. You know, all these issues are kind of swirling around and a lot of people are doing it tough right now. For me personally, over the last 12 months, it has felt pretty exhausting. I'm not complaining. I've got a lot of things to be happy about, but it definitely has felt like a long year. Every single month, the bills go up and up and up, and not by $50 or $100, but by several $100 most months. So our mortgage is now over $14,000 per month. We've had daycare go up, insurance go up, food go up, petrol go up. Pretty much from every angle, things have gone up. Whether you're going to the mechanic or whether you're going to the dentist, everything has gotten more expensive. And for me, I felt like I've kind of been a little bit too focused almost on, you know, all the different bills coming in. And that's not normally where I like to focus. I like to be very focused on, obviously I manage my money very carefully, but I do like to be focused on bringing in more and more of a growth focus rather than a scarcity and where does every individual dollar go. So in terms of my 2023 goals, in terms of real estate, I had the plan to buy 2 regional properties worth around $500K each. So that would have required around $200,000 put down to buy those properties. So that's been a big fail. And I guess it's a mixed bag because I did produce that money. So that's great. We did actually have that money and we did generate that money. So that part of it, I guess, that was in my hands was fine. In terms of loan serviceability, I did flag this in my last year's wrap up that I wasn't sure whether loan serviceability would be an issue or not. I thought it might be, and it was, because in the previous year we did buy around $3.3 million worth of real estate in the previous year. So we kind of bought a bunch of stuff and then loan servicing got significantly worse over the last 12 months. So it's a little surprise that temporarily I have to be out of the game of real estate. I can't add anything else, which is, you know, fine with me. And interest rates are crazy now. So, you know, gone from 2 to 6% or whatever it was. So many of these properties that were cash flow positive that I would have looked at a few years ago, many of them buying them in today's climate would be, you know, potentially cash flow neutral or negative straight off the bat. In terms of crypto, this is a quick one. Not going to be investing in crypto anytime soon. Still doesn't really make sense to me. I'm not planning to invest in it at all. Right now, it's actually going on a bit of a run. Again, I don't care, just leaving it to the sidelines. If you want to gamble your money on crypto, if you make money, good for you. For me, I don't want a bar of it. I'm focusing on what I know and understand and leaving that to the side. In terms of ETFs, I haven't really done much with that over the last year. I still think personally that it's a great way to invest for a lot of people. However, for me, I've got some more important things or bigger opportunities that I think I can focus on, which I'll get to in a moment. In terms of YouTube, basically the short version is if I post videos, the channel grows. If I don't post videos, the channel still grows, but much slower. And that's pretty much been the case this year. So I'm very happy with the progress relative to what I put into it, which was nowhere near as much as I would like to, but ultimately YouTube doesn't pay the bills. My business and investments pay the bills. So for me to allocate hours and hours and hours to YouTube every single week isn't really financially, doesn't make any sense. However, I do like making videos for you guys and hopefully you guys enjoy them as well. We've gone from, we've just crossed over 4,000 subscribers, which is amazing. And I appreciate you guys following. We did aim to get to 10K, but that was kind of based on me doing regular videos every week. You know, ideally 2 videos a week, if not a minimum of 1, but like realistically, I've been doing just under 1 video per month on average. So it's a fair result given the effort that I've put in. In terms of the business, some of the goals that I had for this year was 1, ramping up content creation, which was a success. So that has definitely happened. Adding more staff has been a yes, but I probably should have added a few more. We've added a couple of people to the team recently and, you know, in the last few months, and that has made a massive impact on how much, you know, time I've freed up in my own calendar. There was a lot of things that were still on my plate that needed to be delegated that weren't delegated yet, and that's starting to happen now, and I'm already seeing the benefits of that. In terms of revenue target, I did have a big-ish revenue target for the business, which I did not hit. However, we did our biggest year ever. So that's, I guess, a good consolation prize. We ended up doing our highest revenue and highest profit in a 12-month period during 2023. We've got a few days to go, but we've already sort of surpassed our best year ever. So that's great. So over the last 12 months, personally, it's been a bit of a mixed bag. Just before the year started, I lost my dad to pancreatic cancer, which, as you can imagine, sucked. So that was kind of crap for a little bit. It's life, this is what happens. But on the flip side, we had the birth of our second son. And one of the interesting things about that was my wife was having a planned C-section, and our doctor, the obstetrician, he actually originally suggested that the ideal date for the baby to be born was actually exactly to the day 1 year after my dad passed. So, and he didn't know that at the time. So it was quite interesting how, one door closes and another door opens. But yeah, we named the middle name of our newborn after my dad, John. So that's a nice little consolation or something. But yeah, overall, it was a bit of a mixed bag, but lots of, that's the way life is. Sometimes good things and bad things happen in the same year, but it is what it is. So looking forward to 2024, some of the things that I'm thinking about right now is when it comes to investing, it's really a case of if I invest $1 here, how much can I get back? And it's all about risk and return. Can I get 5x my money back or 1x, or can I get 10% back here? And it's all relative to how much am I going to get back and how much risk am I going to take on? What's the chance of that actually eventuating that return? So for me, the biggest way for me to multiply my money the fastest is through my business, without doubt, hands down. And the reason is, one, I have full control over how the business goes. If I invest in a property, I can mitigate that risk a lot, but I still don't, control a lot of the macro factors. When it comes to ETFs, I don't control whether Coca-Cola has a good year or the market does well. Overall, if you invest in some of those index funds, you probably will work out fine, and it's something that I've done in the past and will continue to do in future. However, the biggest financial opportunity for me when I looked at everything and unpacked it was growing my business further. And that's something that's going to allow me to multiply my money much bigger, much sooner in my life. I don't want to get to 60 and then finally be rich. I kind of want to be bringing that forward as early as possible so I can do all the fun stuff that I want to do. Historically, one of the things that I've done has been using the cash flow from the business, taking out the majority of it and putting it into regional property and into ETFs. Now that has got me to multi-million dollar net worth status, so that worked great. However, if I think about it, I probably actually could have got there much sooner had I just reinvested in the business. But for me at the time, I was very risk averse and I kind of wanted a safe way to get up to that level. However, there's probably at some level, I probably should have just, not taken the risk, but I really just sort of doubled down on what generated that initial money rather than putting it into some of those things. Now, definitely not complaining. Obviously, it still worked out good regardless, but I probably missed out on $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, potentially more from not heavily reinvesting back into my business. And sometimes people reinvest in their business and it doesn't pan out. So the risk averse person in me, that's the reasoning I had at the time for not. I did reinvest a little bit, but nowhere near as much as I should have. For me, if I invest 100K and I get a 10% return with ETFs or something like that, I might get back 10K. For me, if I invested 100 grand in ads, the chances of me making, potentially a couple hundred grand and beyond is actually very high. Now, this is much more active income, which is the catch. However, for me, I think that right now I really should be focusing on, driving a major amount of active income rather than doing some conservative stuff. I've kind of felt like I've built a conservative foundation, a strong foundation, but now I really want to focus on, scaling up the business. So in terms of the different channels where I'm looking at investing my money, basically in terms of real estate, I'm not planning to buy anything else right now. Crypto, don't care. ETFs, won't do anything right now. And then in terms of the business, really the almost 100% of the focus is going to be on growing and scaling up the business. And I'll be doing that in a few different ways. One is just doing simply more ads. The ads that I have been doing have been effective, and it's just a case of building that out further. One of the reasons I haven't already spent a lot on ads is the fact that my capacity is limited. I've got myself and a few contractors that I use, but I never want them to be at 100% capacity because that's when you start missing things. So most of our staff, we kind of limit them to 90 or 80% of their capacity. I never want them overstretched because I'd rather maintain the quality rather than have them run off their feet at all times, because that's what a lot of agencies do. I don't personally think that's the way you get great results. So the first thing is scaling up ads production. The second thing is just continuing to double down on content production. It's worked well so far. I just need to do more of it. And then the third part is also looking at my product mix. So for me, one of the challenges with agency services is you can end up chewing up a lot of your time, and it can be very, very staff heavy to scale that side of the business up. One of the things that I've been building in the background has been a training course. People that want to, because I get a lot of people that inquire that their business is not quite at the level to be working with us directly. They're too small a business. We have tons of people that inquire that I almost want to just give them the blueprint and they can do a self-paced course that teaches them how to do all that stuff themselves, whether it's them, the business owner, or it is a marketer, maybe a marketing coordinator or marketing manager in their business, and sort of give them the tools to help manage their own marketing successfully, show them what to work on, what not to worry about, what's just fluff and what actually moves the needle, all that stuff. I'm putting that into a course, and that's something that people can use to grow their own business, and it'll be very, very cost effective for them as well. And the other side of that is having a group coaching program. So there's a lot of people that I work with. All our clients are sort of higher level business owners and we work one-on-one, but there's heaps of people that want to be part of a group program and not only learn directly from me, but also learn from each other and network and sort of grow their learning at an accelerated pace. So that's something we're going to be launching in 2024, which I'm very excited about. And it's something that I can have, whether it's 50 customers or 200 customers active in that, it's still the similar amount of time for me. So it's very, very scalable and very, very leveraged way. And I also end up helping a lot more people than I'm helping now. So that's pretty cool. Overall, I'm hoping that all the sum of these decisions ends up with, at the end of 2024, I'd love to be doing a recap where the business did a big jump in revenue, not just an incremental jump. And I'd love to have it where we're serving a lot more customers, basically. So we work with a smaller number now of higher paying customers. Would love to also add in some, mid and low level customers in terms of spend. And help a whole bunch more of them. That would be great. And also just scaling up the ads and our social platforms and all that sort of stuff is a big focus for next year. So I hope you found that useful going into next year. Obviously, I don't personally think that the economy is going to get significantly easier or better. I don't think rates are going to come down. They might come down a little bit, but not by much, at least not in the next 12 months. So for me, it's really just about sticking to the basics and, doing the usual stuff, not spending, bringing in as much as I can, and continuing to reinvest that in the business. So whatever happens at a macroeconomic level doesn't really matter to me because all my finances are super, super dialed in. So I hope you found that useful. Let me know what you think in the comments. What are your big goals for next year? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear. And that's it from me. And Happy New Year, and I'll see you soon.